What's going on, everybody? Welcome in the Vikings Now by Chat Sports. My name is Patrick Siepman, and coming up on today's show, we got a fun one. We're going to be going over some takeaways from the Vikings' first unofficial depth chart that they released ahead of this week's game, which is tomorrow night against the Seattle Seahawks. And I'm super pumped about this game, by the way. But we're diving into 5 takeaways I had from the Vikings releasing their first unofficial depth chart. And then, hey, guys, if you guys want to join the fun this Thursday, make sure you hit that subscribe button. We're going to be going live 30 minutes before kickoff. It's a late-night game. The game starts at 9 p.m. They're playing in Seattle. I am absolutely amped for this game. I'm excited to watch all the rookies get out there and just have a good time. So if you guys want to come hang out with me, make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on your notifications so you get notified when we go live 30 minutes at 8:30 p.m. Central Time before the Vikings take on the Seattle Seahawks. Subscribe and join us then. Number one takeaway I had from this depth chart coming out is Jordan Addison, the first-round rookie out of USC that we took at 23rd overall. He was listed at wide receiver 4 on the Vikings depth chart. And I'll say this. This is incredibly interesting. I think the Vikings could be playing a couple different cards here. I think they could be playing the motivation card and also kind of the rewarding KJ Osborne for what he's done card. Like, in terms of the motivation card, I think maybe they're kind of sending a message to Addison like, hey, even though you were selected 23rd overall in this past year's draft, you got to earn it. You know, nothing here is just given to you. You got to come in here and you got to earn your stripes a little bit. And then maybe they're also just respecting KJ for what he's done over the past couple seasons with the Vikes. Like, obviously, he's entering his 4th year now out of Miami. Maybe they want to show him some love and not just tell him, like, hey, even though you did all this hard work, we're going to give it to this new guy. So my overall take with the wide receiver 2 spot is I do expect it to be KJ Osborne week 1, no doubt. But I do expect that to also be a short leash for KJ. Like, I think Jordan Addison has proven enough throughout, Vikings training camp and just the overall play that he is good enough and he will, eventually take over KJ for that wide receiver 2 spot because this guy has been dominating all training camp for the Minnesota Vikings. Any clip that I have seen thrown out there on Twitter, like, KJ has absolutely been schooling the Vikings corners. Like, obviously the Vikes don't have, good corners on that side of the football, but anytime he's been in a one-on-one, no matter what it's been, Addison has gotten the best of that cornerback, and he is super fluid, super silky, coming in and out of routes. Honestly, just him getting one-on-one looks with, obviously, Jefferson and T.J. Hockenson getting most of the attention from defenses. If he would get one-on-one looks, he's going to cook whoever's team they're playing, their 3rd or 2nd corner that week. But I'll ask you guys this. I'll make this the pinned comment on today's video. I think this is the question that we all got to ask. Pick a wide receiver 2. If you're Kevin O'Connell, it's week 1 versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Just week 1. Pick a wide receiver 2 for the Vikes, type 3 for Jordan Addison, or type 17 for KJ Osborne. I think right now, I'm going 17 for KJ, but obviously we'll have to see. Now let's talk about it. Ivan Pace Jr. being listed as a backup, even though he has been getting a ton of first-team reps so far during training camp. The thing is with Ivan Pace Jr., the past couple of practices, he has been running with the first team at Vikings training camp, and a lot of people are assuming that maybe he will start next to Brian Asamoah. But I do think for maybe the first month of the season, I do think it's going to be Jordan Hicks. I think there's just going to be a respect thing with Hicks. Like, listen, Ivan Pace, there's a reason he was undrafted. I've loved him coming out of the draft. Tom Downey, who does our work here when it's kind of rating the draft prospects, he had him as a top 100 player. Like, I just think maybe there's a reason he was undrafted. I think Brian Flores will trust Jordan Hicks more early on in the year. But shit, halfway through the year, end of the year, I fully expect Pace to get that started job. This is what Peter Schrager said. He was actually talking about, like, guys he's excited to watch during preseason, and he had this sweet quote about Ivan Pace, and honestly just fired me the F up. He said, undrafted, undersized, just 230 pounds. He's a heat-seeking missile. Talk to anybody there, talk to anyone there. He's been one of the real standouts of Vikings camp, and I totally agree with this. Like, I think Brian Asamoah and Ivan Pace, just the combination they're going to have next season at that linebacker spot, I think it's going to be sick. They're super fast guys. They're super fast linebackers, and I actually think they're going to be a lot like Kobe and Shaq next season. That little linebacker duo, they both hit hard, both super fast, and they both kind of have the same negative qualities as well. Like, they're both undersized, probably not the best in coverage, so maybe you could see, like, the Vikings running a lot more of 3 safety sets where they kind of have a safety kind of hop down in that linebacker position just to help out the fellas and help out the linebackers in terms of coverage. But these two, not actually these two, Kobe and Shaq, but Brian Asamoah and Ivan Pace, those two be able to just hit hard and just to see what they're going to do, I think they're going to be generational next season. Now at the cornerback spot, this is my third takeaway from this depth chart being released. Akayleb Evans and Andrew Booth Jr. were both slated in as starters in this Vikings cornerback room. You know, we've obviously heard the reports coming out of camp that, you know, we've seen Joejuan Williams get a lot of first-team reps, Tate Gowan even, Mekhi Blackman, but it's looking like Booth and Evans should get the first-team nods week 1 versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I've been saying it, like, the Bucs, even though they lost Brady, you know, they're not expected to be a good football team next season. They still have Chris Godwin and Mike Evans. Like, they're still going to be able to create separation and, you know, be able to create havoc for other teams' corners if you're not ready. So Booth, Evans, they got to be ready to go week 1 versus the Buccaneers, and it's just going to be very, very exciting to see how that kind of plays out. That's also why I think the cornerback room right now is wide open. Like, multiple players have been getting first-team reps throughout camps. I think a lot of the Vikings coaching staff is they're kind of see who's going to step up and who's going to, like, go and get it and go and who wants it more. Like, and a guy that has been standing out is Joejuan Williams. Joejuan Williams, a former second-round pick in the 2019 draft from the New England Patriots. He's 6'2", super rangy, super athletic. I mean, you can see the muscles on him right here. He actually picked off Kirk Cousins 2 times in one practice. I think that would have been now Monday's practice. He picked off Kirk 2 times, so he's making plays, long, physical corner. He's a guy just to watch out for. He's a sneaky guy that could be the cornerback 2 next to Byron Murphy. But with a lot of the talk being around the cornerback room this offseason, you know, we have all said that was the #1 position in need that the Vikings need to address. I want you to grade it. How do you feel about the Vikings cornerback room right now? Give me an A, B, C, D, or F down in the comments section. Another shocker from this depth chart being released is Cam Bynum starting at safety. I thought Cam Bynum struggled last season, frankly. You know, nobody on that Vikings defense really had a great year, but I was shocked to see Cam Bynum starting next to Harrison Smith at that free safety spot, mainly just because I thought it went towards more a guy like Lewis Cine, Josh Metellus. I thought maybe they would have gotten the first-team nods just because, again, from the reports we've been hearing out of Vikings training camp. Like Josh Metellus, you know, we hear about Brian Flores, just speak about his intelligence and versatility. Like Josh Metellus, one of those guys who can play in 5 different positions on the defense. And I think Brian Flores, what he did so well with New England is using those safeties in multiple ways. I think Lewis Cine and Josh Metellus probably fit that bill better than a guy like Cam Bynum. But again, this could have been just a respect thing. And I will make this note about the depth chart being released. Jefferson's rookie year when it got released, he was listed as wide receiver 5 when this first came out. So always take this with a grain of salt. So maybe Cam Bynum, he could start, but I expect it to be Cine or Metellus week 1 versus Tampa. Now another shocker was Kene Nwangwu being listed as the running back 2 on this Vikings team. I love Kene. I've been banging this table and pounding this table for him to get more touches in this offense, but I was shocked they didn't go to a guy like Ty Chandler. In terms of you know, what I think this you know, Vikings group and this Vikings running back room will look like this season, I do expect Madison to be the RB1 no matter what in week 1 versus Tampa, but I do think that RB2 spot, there's a ton of question marks. Like obviously, you go Ty Chandler, Dwayne McBride, or Kene Nwangwu. That's why I think the battle for that will be a ton of fun. Like overall, I do think Ty Chandler, I don't know, him or Dwayne McBride. I'm thinking about in terms of best overall running back. Probably Ty Chandler is probably the best overall back in that group. I want KOC that use Kene Nwangwu as just a gadget guy. Like give him a halfback screen, give him a halfback touch pass because we've seen it in the kick return game how explosive he truly is. Like have him get in open space and have him create and give him kind of those special plays. That's how I would use him, and then kind of use Alexander Madison, Ty Chandler, to kind of be a little thunder and lightning. But somebody I'm definitely excited to watch play during the preseason, this guy right here, Jordan Addison. If you guys want to rock his jersey when he's rocking that number 3 next season, this is just a placeholder, the number 1. So if you guys order it and use this link, it will come as number 3. So make sure you guys take advantage of it. Head over to chatsports.com/Vikings jersey. Get your Jordan Addison jersey today. They're sweet. A ton of fans will be rocking them in US Bank Stadium. You should too. I'll make sure to put that link for you guys in the comment section and description of today's show. Speaking of Jordan Addison, he's one of the guys that I am most excited to watch play versus Seattle Seahawks. But I want you guys to name a player you are most excited to watch versus Seahawks this Thursday. I just said Addison. I'll go another one. I'll go Ivan Pace. I think Ivan Pace is going to be a ton of fun to watch. Maybe even a guy like Lewis Seen. Like, just seeing him back on the football field after he suffered that left leg fracture, compound fracture. You guys know what I'm talking about. But guys like Lewis Seen, Ivan Pace, Jordan Addison, all guys I'm excited to watch. And make sure you guys do hit that subscribe button. We are going to be going live 30 minutes before the game, so tune on in. Football is back, baby. The purple Kool-Aid is all in the air. So, hit that subscribe button, lock us in, and we'll see you guys next time. Skol Vikes.